But I do have a secret to tell you. You know how you see Woorari in the chat right now, talking, saying hi to everyone. What if I told you he's not just there? What if you wanted all the Woorari you possibly could need, and he's here as a special guest for this week by popular demand? So we're gonna go ahead and bring him back. Everyone, please welcome back Woorari.
Oh my God. Popular demand. I don't think that this is true.
It's very true. It's
No,
always
no, no, no.
Dane or Michael or where's Rene, and here you are again.
Yeah. Yeah. Only Grish is asking, and then so he can annoy me with like, hey, is there an update to the roadmap? Is there an update to the roadmap? Is there an update to the roadmap?
It's a good question. Is there an update to the roadmap?
Yes, there actually is an update to the roadmap.
See, your persistence paid off. Greece, you finally wore him down. It was solely you. You're behind the scenes talking. We're like, we should just answer this dude and get an update to the roadmap so he'll leave us alone. So you did it.
Oh, I'm quite quiet. I don't know.
All right.
Better. Well, let's see.
We can pump up his volume. Can you give me a la 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 la?
La 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 la. Okay, better. I will not sing for you.
There you are.
Let's make this one thing clear. I will not sing for you.
You don't want to do your best gibbling impression, little jib jib or House of the Gibbling Sun?
No, I will not do this.
Smart. I wouldn't either.
Yes. Yes. There's a convention of Geneva that prevents this because it's an class 1 action torture if I would sing, and we don't want this.
It's that bad, huh? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess the roadmap will not include updates to Woorari singing as a Gibbling. So sorry, everyone.
Yes.
Hopefully that's all fixed. Thank you for the feedback, everyone. Zanus, good to see you. Zephix. I'm happy to have you back, Renee. It's been like a month, I think, since the last stream with you.
Yes, I think so. We had some news back then around a cool little nations, a little bit to the east to Ambrose.
Yeah, we had a little asterisk up for it at the time. It was called Luquamus, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe we'll speak about this a little bit today as well. So let's see.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and hop right into it then. Let's go ahead and show this brand new edition. Wow, is that a roadmap I see?
I think so. That's a roadmap.
And it's brand new. So. It's live. It's active. I can move my mouse over it. It's real. Wow, indeed, Modosco. Look at that. Renee.
Yes.
There's a lot to download here. A lot of information.
It is. So, no, I will not hype a little bit more. No, I'm not. I mean, I'm a producer. Don't go to me if you want to have hype. Come to me and complain that everything is delayed and get this fixed. That's what I'm for. I'm not your PR person. Adrian is here for the hype. I'm not.
That's me. I'm the on-screen personality to be like, yeah, and it's my job to be like, isn't that great, Renee? And Renee is like, yeah, okay, yeah, get it out on time.
Yeah. So,
where do you want to start?
Maybe a quick overview on how it is structured. So first thing is a section called Content Preview, where we will put a little bit on what you can expect next to arrive. And so obviously, Darkest the Night is the next thing you can expect. But we will not speak about this today because I guess we spoke about it already a little bit. And it's soon to arrive, and we then have a dedicated stream around this, and then I guess that's I would say much more appropriate instead of speaking here about it, because there's so much more we can speak about.
Okay, so soon TM is what we're looking at again.
Yeah.
A little louder? Okay, I can give him a little louder. There you go. Even louder.
Okay. Even louder?
I got you.
Yeah, okay.
You turned all the way up now. But it looked like
Yeah.
a lot of the things we saw last time for Darker Tonight, not much has changed in terms of description and what's going to be there. The torches, the aggro from light sources, that's all the same, it looks like.
Yes. So it's the same, but it's as said, we will, or better, you will speak about this in another stream, and maybe there will be another nice guest speaking about this. But that's just a small thing people get excited about, and we will not give any hints who this might be.
No, that's fine. I mean, we've already had 3 great guests so far. Who knows who it could be?
Yeah. So then on the other things, so everything Q4 is what we plan that it should arrive this year. And then you have Q1, which is everything that we plan to release early next year. Q2, Q3 is then next year is what is planned for later this year. This list is something that would most likely see some changes. Might be that we add things, remove things, because it's so far out that we plan with it, but not everything of this is set in stone yet. So things will change, obviously, also on the feedback of you folks. And that's just a fair warning on this column. So things might change in that one. While we want to give you already an outlook, also an outlook of what to expect from Liquid Meadows.
Okay, it seems like the further out things are, the more likely they can change. Doesn't mean they will, just means it could.
Yes. It's with plans. It's you have your plan, and most likely you will only achieve 70 or 80% of what you have planned, and the rest is changes. Because you have to adapt to reality. You learn new things, and that's basically what plans are for. And so, as with the old roadmap, we will update this as well. We will constantly update. Most likely, we will have an update early next year on that one. And most likely, I would jump again on a call, or maybe someone else would jump on a call and give you an update on the roadmap.
Okay, that makes sense. I think a lot of that too probably has to do with the fact that community is always giving feedback as well on things they do and don't like, and that can affect things we do in the future.
Yeah. So these streams with roadmap updates will be a constant thing from now on, and you will constantly be updated. Not every month, but maybe every quarter or so, you will receive an update from us on stream and have the possibility to ask questions. But enough of that. I guess everybody is eager to actually know what's in there, and so that we can really look into the different things.
Yes, they're waiting on pins and needles.
Good. So then let's start with what we planned for this year. So yes, we want to bring more interior items. We need more beds, tables, chairs, lamps, cabinets.
Yes.
Things that you can use and decorate your amazing houses with, so that Lakeside becomes an even more comfortable place. And all the other brilliant places you have built become a more lovely place as well. Then the next thing is the item on the list is building system V2.
V2.
What is that? V2. So you get a building mode where the character is hidden, that you can see things much better.
Yes.
Then you showcase something already on stream where you can resize things, where you can rotate things. Just 2 days ago, I was building a half pipe just out of foundations on our test system, which works really nicely. That's amazing. So these type of things are coming as well. So we are reworking the building system to make it a little bit more usable. Also moving things so that you can move your chest, move a piece you have already placed, and most importantly,
what is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this?
If you basically destroy a piece, you get resources back.
Oh my god! Thank you. so much, because I feel like this has been a thing that's been asked for as early as like right as since the open beta started, maybe in an alpha. Like I just lost everything. Where are my resources? Why do I have to rebuild? Or I removed my floorboard and I lost all this stuff. Where are my resources? How do I get stuff back? I can only chop so much wood. Yeah, just farm, says Warsu. No, I worked so hard and got all these materials. I want them back. You telling me it's coming? Finally?
Yes.
Oh my god.
So, and yeah, then let's move on to the next thing. So
do we have to move on? I just want to sit on this for like the next 10 minutes and just look at it.
There's more.
Okay.
There's more. So a few of you have seen the lovely hats we have had on our hats. So, and it's the first of many rewards we want to give to our early access players. So we know you paid already, you're supporting us with giving feedback and everything. So we said we want to reward you. And so the first thing that will come is the Jib head and a Moss Deer head. There's concept art on there as well. You can look at this up later. We will release this roadmap as well. It has a different URL. And so, yes, will be able to look this up. Have a nice view on that one. It will be, one of the headgears will be for everyone who bought it, who is in the early access. The other one, we haven't decided which one will be end up where, will be for everyone who also bought the supporter pack.
Nice.
So it's really for everyone who even supported us beyond just being part of the early access will receive the other head as well.
I'm sorry, chat. I lied to you for like 2 months straight. It was for the greater good, okay? It wasn't just me. He had on a hat too. Where's his grief?
Maybe I had, yeah, maybe I had one.
The entire time, all of you were saying things like, "Where's the Jib hat? Where's the Malsteer hat?" I thought I saw you wearing one. What's in your head? You were right, and it's real. And I think that's really cool that it's a way to support not only people who did early access.
And Adrian was forcing me to it. He basically was threatening me on Gamescom to actually do so.
First thing I did when I saw him in person, gave him a big hug, and I held him and I said, "Where are those hats?" Squeezed him really hard.
Yeah, so it wasn't my idea, I swear. Maybe
it's
not.
It's really cool though. I mean, you get the soundtrack, you get the wallpapers, and now you get an extra hat too, in addition to the other hat. So big W.
So after that, it's a little bit a smaller thing. It's status effect cooldowns. So we will work on that on these, so that they are stacking better, that they are more meaningful, because we will work with status effects much more in the future. And so that's a preparation for that one already.
Perfect.
Not a big change, but something that is actually something that we have to do.
Yeah, then I think there's always a lot of questions around like the chill effect and the heat effect and being tangled and how long does it last and what does it mean? Can I hover over it? All those things. So
and then we have another content drop.
Yeah, look at this.
Bandits. So not all the hedonists are nice. Some of them became bandits, and you will find them on a nice little Ambrose on the survivor map. I mean, you have seen already their places, the bandit camps. There are actually 2 of them, but there are even more locations where you will find bandits. So they will become a new enemy type, including 1 boss at least. And yes, staggers are part of this as well.
So explain that.
I just saw it. So we are reworking combat right now, and with the bandits, you will see the first update on the combat system. So staggering will become a thing, new movement will become a thing. So we are looking into a lot of more things really coming to combat based on your feedback and also what we have seen and where we wanted to drive the combat system. So yes, more updates coming to the combat system, and it's not the only update that is on this roadmap for the combat system.
I think it's funny that I can imagine a time 6 months from now where people will tell you, it used to be you could walk around Ambrose and the only thing you had to worry about were Tariva. Now there's bandits. Now you can't go outside at night. Now it's just dangerous everywhere you go. It's survival now.
Yeah. I can tell you, we did a mistake and had given Dane some of the creature tuning for Darkest Night, and he's a Dark Souls player. That was not a good idea. That was really not a good idea.
Yes, let's go, Dark Soul fan.
This is the Nocturne Arrival right now is not your friend.
Perfect.
Yes. But you will see about this soon. And then the last point that we will work on this year is updating lots of base animations.
Okay.
So walk, run, jump, for example, all of these receive updates. So right now they're really at some point very clunky, not well done. So we're working on them. And so they will arrive there as well. So we're working on these.
I feel like that's one of the things that goes underappreciated is a small animation update. I remember a few months back when we changed the animation of jumping with the weapon in your hand. How beforehand it was like a static, you just kind of jump and the weapon's in your hand, but now there's kind of like a slight motion to it. There's weight to the weapon, there's weight to you. So it changes a lot of the perception of the game, I think, for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So that's something really where we're working on the whole time.
Look at Zephix trying to be sneaky there. Swimming?
I mean, Ambrose doesn't have that much water. If there would only be a nation that has more water, where that would make sense.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool if there was an entire water-based nation.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on with the roadmap, I would say. So then what we plan for early next year.
Town management.
So roads and permissions. So that Shakiti finally can make Grish basically a farming slave. And finally he got his role that he deserves in the town. So that's something we will introduce. So really bringing this to life, making it more manageable for people. So yeah.
Sharkiti's pumped about that. Finally, you can have ranks head bunker, bunk receiver, bunk receiver, bunk receiver.
Yes.
I like it.
Then we will update town attacks. So we will review the different waves, make them, change them, make them stronger, introduce new enemies, introduce maybe even new bosses in these. And so town attacks will get a little bit more meaningful due to that.
I would love to see a giant Gothkin, like a just really swole looking Gothkin, with the chains hanging down from the wrist kind of thing, like it just broke out of somewhere.
Yeah. So then the next thing on the list, because people ask about it, shelters.
Ooh.
So buildings become meaningful. What does this mean? They will add or remove debuffs and buffs. So if you build a shelter in the mountains, it might remove your the frozen state, the freeze state. And all of this stuff will come in as well. We're currently adding more and more of asset status effects, and then looking into shelters, and that they remove them or give them to you, so that you have a well fed buff, for example, or if you have a certain item or a thing in your town that you receive a buff that gives you more attack power. These type of things.
Nice. No
So
more just bringing campfires with you.
yes. That also leads then obviously to environmental effects.
Yes.
The next item. So you will see that rain does something to you. You don't want to stick around in rain without proper gear or that a shelter is near to you. You don't want to have a look in, you don't want to be in the mountains for too long, these type of things. So we review all the environment effects, add meaning to them that you want to move out of it and really freeze. And also reviewing gear that there might not be 100% protection from something anymore.
Or doesn't exist.
Or doesn't exist. So these type of things.
Good update.
Then hunger and saturation system.
Ooh.
So some of you might recall the good old days where you had to eat in Coreborn to not starve.
Yes.
That will have a return. So now I could do some gingerbread jokes like I lost my leg in Norm, but I will not do this. So it's
great days.
yeah, the great days. So yeah, I would say even it's more 8 months ago, Greesh, but yeah. So yes, it will make its return. We, as mentioned earlier, I mean last week, we want to strengthen the value that this is a survivor game. Coreborn is a survivor game, and we don't want to have it been seen as something else. So this has to return, and it needs to be something you need to have a constant threat. And yes, not eating something for way too long is a threat. So yes, it will make its return. We will review the system that we had. We will update it, but yes, it will make its return.
And I think that's one of the things we'll look at too, right there. When Greesh said, when dying was more efficient than eating. Of course, you always want to find a way out of not doing the thing you're supposed to be doing, like eating food the entire time. So I'm sure we'll have balances for that.
Yes, and maybe imagine something. Yes, we have the gravestone, but if you die because you haven't been eaten, maybe your inventory is gone.
Wow. Jeez. Yeah, imagine that, Grease.
Yeah.
I don't want to imagine that.
Yes. So the next thing on the list seems so little, but it's actually something very big and important.
Expeditions.
So expeditions. So it's, some of you might recall when we spoke about adventures and when we spoke about events as two different things. The last couple of months, we were sitting together reviewing this, and we figured out separating them is not a good idea. And we now combine them, calling this whole thing expeditions. What this means is that what we originally planned to have only as an instance experience can happen on the actual survival map, while some of them will be instanced experience, but they will not be separated again, and they will not be a separated system. So that was very important for us making this decision. So you will not hear from us, you will not hear us speaking about adventures or events in the future. You will hear us speaking about expeditions. Bear some slack. That's a new term also for us. So once in a while, we might refer to something as an adventure or as an event. We still have to get used to that as well, but we had to find a new word. That's why we also flagged everything that was before flagged as adventure, now as expedition.
Okay. Expedition, get it in your vocab. No more adventure or events. It is now expedition. Got it.
So that being said, the horde mode that we worked on for a while will be then an expedition that we then want to release early on. And yes, expedition will still happen cross-server. That's why we wanted to have something combined. So that's, for example, Stefix, you are on one server, Greece is on another one. Greece sees that there is an expedition happening on your survival map. He would be able to join this and actually support you on this expedition. That's the idea here.
Okay. And this is that question. That's good.
So that's why we want to combine this. So yes, it's expedition is a term for both now.
And then basically afterwards, you will return to your home world.
Correct.
Okay, good. Gotta visit for a little bit, say hi to a friend. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? All right, that was fun. Goodbye.
Yeah. So, and then with the horde mode, I guess you heard about it. We stopped working on it for a while, focusing on other things. So we will pick up work on that one soon again, bring in the latest learnings into it, and then release it early next year.
Cool. Good update.
And then you see the next combat update.
Indeed.
And this time we will focus a lot on enemies and enemy behavior. We do so already with every new enemy we'll introduce, but we want to revisit all the enemies that are already there. Your Grizzes, your Oropalas, Fate Veers, Mostiers, Terivas, all of these we want to revisit and basically have them given an update on all the learnings we already have, and make them more fun as well. So that's in there. So
that's just like changing their idle animation, how they aggro and approach you, or how they attack. Or
it's attack patterns. It's rebalancing of the stats. It's update on the animations. So some of them are some are missing animations. Some needs and get a new set of animations. So it's a bigger thing of little small things here and there, little details left and right, to enhance the whole combat experience for all the creatures we have.
I hope the Oropalas get their revenge after the old Oropala armor segment that took place about a month and a half ago. It's about time they got their run back.
Yes. And then we will have...
This is actually an interesting point really quickly brought up, I guess, by Magajodel Belcher and then Zephyx. I guess maybe it's too early to ask, but would that be a thing to worry about if you're doing an expedition? Like, would you starve during the expedition and then die by starvation during the expedition?
If it happens on the Ambrose map, most likely be possible.
But in an instant, probably not.
In an instant, probably not. Correct.
Okay. Talk.
Then there is the next town attack update. So we want to introduce, again, new enemies. Update these. Also introduce the Sheet Gofkins to the town attacks. So that's something as well.
I love them.
Yeah. And then there is again an update to the building system.
Yes.
So next things coming. And then there's something a certain someone asked for.
Would you look at that?
So yes, we will already introduce swimming early next year in preparation, obviously, for Liquid Meadows. So yes,
there you go, Zephyx. Here's your little callback you said like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. So it's on the roadmap. Swimming will come.
The best part too is on the roadmap for Q1 so far. It's not even pushed to Q2 or Q3.
Yes. Nice. So we have to do this also for all the learnings and for Liquid Meadows. So we have to do this early on. That's why it is prioritized there. Then the first new expedition is there. It's a resource expedition where you will get new rare resources that are not on the Ambrose map yet. And so new recipes, new resources, new gear, new items. So yes, we're farming. That's the idea behind this. Then we will rework the hill biome. be it enemies, be it resources. So it's a whole rework of the biome, because we thought that this biome really needs an update because it's was not well designed yet. So that's something that we really want to do. And then the last thing on this list is erosion. Some of you heard of this already before. So erosion means that certain building materials are meant for certain biomes. You don't want to have your metal houses standing in the moss seas, because they might erode. You don't want to have a light wood house standing in the hills biome, because there are the sandstorms, and they will erode, and so on and so on. So you have to look into materials fitting to your biome and make them really fit to the biome and really fit to your needs. There will be areas where you can still build with all the materials, so some safe spaces. But if you want to build your city, your town in a locations like, for example, the mountains, you have to look on your materials.
Okay. Just comes with the cost of the territory. Wherever you decide to build, be on the lookout for what you got to do. I think one thing I would be curious about is how much erosion would take place. Like if I had myself and 3 friends and we're in a area that is not friendly to materials we use, how much time we'd have to come back, log in, and take care of it and repair it.
Not much. You basically would basically see immediate. So a current idea, but that might change, is you would basically see immediately the effect that the game tells you, like, that's not a good idea what you're doing here.
Okay.
I guess that's the only fair approach, that it's not something that is hidden and then you come back and it's a surprise, like, oh, why is this gone? It should be something you see immediately, like, okay, you built here, not a smart idea to use metal. You should use stone.
Makes sense.
So let's move on to something that is further ahead. So
Quarter 2, quarter 3.
liquid meadows. Yes. So important. All these columns are not in a priority order. That doesn't mean that something that is on top is the first thing to come. It's just a list of items that will come. And liquid meadows is the main theme for this time. That's why it sits on top. But most likely it will something that will arrive, I would say, somewhere in the middle of this. But it's really not the first thing to come and to expect. Just that everyone is aware, and I don't want to have proper expectation management here.
Okay, so it's not in order. It's just a placement right now.
Yes.
Got it.
So then obviously with the liquid meadow maps, we will have new interior items. We will have the Children of the Source, where we already started working on building them.
Yep, we gave you this preview last time Renee was here and showed you pretty much everything you're looking at right now.
So then there will be a Children of the Source weapon type.
Ooh.
That, where we haven't decided yet, might be something that we release already very early for everyone already on Ambrose, because hedonists will be able to use these as well. But it will be a weapon inspired by the Children of the Source.
Okay, that makes sense. I see your question, Pajama Cherry. I guess it's a matter of perspective, right? Your expectations of what you, I guess, deem mobile games. Sometimes I think there's a connotation towards that, but I think it's just a visual and aesthetic choice for the game to have the players and the world look this way. As someone who plays a number of mobile games myself, I've seen ones that look like they're super AAA budgeted, and I'm like, how does a game look like this on mobile? And it doesn't play the way I want to, or it does. I've seen games that look like Candy Crush or Brick Builder. I think it's just a design choice.
Yeah. So we we took this, and it's inspired by many other games to design. So yeah, and it's hard to say. Some other games, it's like, where do we put it? Is it a mobile game? Is it a console game? So yeah.
Yes.
Okay, then yes, the musical range weapon is still there. We still want to
Yes,
do this.
I'm gonna zoom in on it.
That's still something we are committed to do. So then by that we will have 3 weapon types in the game. So that's something what we're aiming for.
That's not bad. Quarter 2, quarter 3. Of course, like you said earlier, quarter 2, quarter 3 is the one that could change the most. And I think it's important to point out that change does not always mean change for the worse. It doesn't mean that things are altered to where expectations are lowered or you don't get what you want. Change could also be a thing of, you know what? We're working so hard on this. We've seen changes. Maybe now we want 4 weapon types to take place when we release this instead of 3.
Yes.
Maybe we want 5, or maybe it'll just be 3. But I think change is also, it works both ways, you know?
Yeah. So it seems Greesh doesn't know the concept of quarters, but let's ignore this. The next thing is obviously, yes, there will be new building pieces. Not only updates for the existing pieces with new materials.
Oh.
We will look into new shapes as well.
Oh.
So these are updates for existing pieces, but we will look into new shapes as well, round shapes and so on, that you have even more variety on things.
The inner creator mode in me loves the opportunity to have different shapes, not just square the entire time, but round, rectangle, rhombus, parallelogram, however you want to do it. Although you can do a parallelogram right now if you wanted to, but yeah, different shapes are cool.
Then the second resource expedition. So same as I explained before, new recipes, new items, new resources. Then something people were waiting for.
Whoa. Is this a typo? Is this supposed to be here? Is this real?
Yes, it is real.
What?
So with Liquid Meadows, we think it's time to introduce mounts.
I agree. I think a long time ago we were discussing mounts. It was one of the most asked things in Q&As. It's like, when's a mount? And I think one of the answers you always gave was mounts could be a possibility, but it has to be a necessity. You know, the game has to necessitate the idea of a mount. And going across Ambrose, while it seems taxing, it is a survival game, so you're supposed to be taxed. It's supposed to be hard to go from location to location. But now when you have Ambrose and Liquid Meadows, that's a lot of travel. So a mount makes sense then.
Yeah. And Greesh has an interesting idea.
Oh.
So maybe you need someone to bring you to the Liquid Meadows. Hint, hint. So.
Ooh, hint indeed. How about that?
So.
Nice. Yeah.
Then we have a new expedition, a mini boss or boss expedition, more to say. We haven't decided which boss it will be, but there's a certain boss everyone likes to return, and I'm constantly trying to convince our game design team and the engineers to have him return. And so maybe I'm empowered to convince them. Let's see if I'm powerful enough to do so. They have their own will and not always following my wishes. So let's see.
Like Sims.
Yeah. And then the last thing on the map, on the roadmap is...
Look at this.
We heard you. You want to have a compass, you will get a compass.
I'm about to zoom this in as far as I can. Look at this, everyone. Look at that. Look at look.
You get a compass.
You get a compass. You get a compass.
So,
you know, Quarter 2, Quarter 3 is looking kind of strong. People ask for mounts. People ask for a secondary, a tertiary weapon. People want a mini map compass. And now, instead of it being a thing where we say, we're thinking about it, we're just trying to find ways to make it work and make sure it fits into the plan of action. Now it's like it's on the roadmap and it's there and it's timelined.
Yes. So we heard you, and it was a big request. It basically was just one person who argued like, I don't need a compass. Everybody else was like, oh, I would really like to have a compass.
Yes.
So we listened to you, as we always did, and then it's
You know what, Sharky
So
that's not a bad point. I would agree with
yes,
that. I think it'd be cool to have it toggable.
yes, I agree, and I mean we always try to have as much as possible of our content toggable, and if there are people who think they can find their way home without a compass, perfect. But they should also find their way home without a Shakiti. That would be important. But let's see.
Yes. Good stuff.
Good. Then there's a last column. It's the idea column. And I know there are two topics on that people constantly asking for. It's fishing and farming. And I just quickly want to address them.
Okay.
Why they're there, why they are not on the actual roadmap, why they're still in the idea state. As you see, there's a lot of things we are planning. And we said if we really put in even more, we would first may risk something that is more important for us right now and is more important for the game right now, or we deliver something that is at best mediocre and not fun at all. So we said we keep fishing and farming in the idea state as something that we are committed to do, but something that we still have to delay because we are not in a state to deliver a cool experience on that one. And we say like, okay, it's not something we now bring in, and it's not in a good state. So we rather have it there, have it as something coming later, but something that we will commit to later.
Makes sense. I agree with that. Yeah. Oh, what's this right here?
The marketplace and auction houses is basically the same. It's there for a while. It was on the old roadmap already there as well. So we always want to have a combined economy across all the different servers. Everyone meets in Korheim, trade their goods there. But an economy is not that easily been done. It needs a lot of other things been done first. Needs to be balanced well. And so we currently step away from it and looking into if we can incorporate it. It might be an idea that will not survive, even if we would like to do it. But we have seen the direction the game took so far. And right now it's more analyzing by us if this develops into a state where we can introduce it and where it makes sense and adds something valuable to all of you, or if this is just a stupid idea of us that will not add anything at all and is like we have some strange currency in, everybody sits on billions of this strange currency, and it's just a burden for everyone new starting the game and not fun at all. So we really think of something that is really worthwhile doing. If we don't find a good idea here, we will not do it at all.
I think that's a smart idea. I've played many games where an economy poorly introduced can make a game unenjoyable for months at a time until it's patched up. Like, just as someone who loves Final Fantasy 11, I remember a time when they had a whole thing with Subligar you could fish up if you had like a 10 fishing skill, and you could desynth it and then sell it to an NPC. No auction house interaction for like 3,000 gil. Next thing you know, people are just rich. And they start buying the good foods. The price of the good food goes up because the chefs know they can do it. Now you're a new player who wants to buy the good food and you can't afford it. So economies, they're rough.
Yes. It always is. And that's why we said like, okay, let's focus on this later. If we have a good, smart idea, we will present it again to you and all the players. Get your feedback. And if you say, no, that sucks, it's not a cool idea, we will not do it.
Actually, on the topic of doing things later too, like not looking at the idea bucket, but looking at quarter 1 and having all the system updates, the building mode, the swimming, and then looking at quarter 2 and quarter 3, liquid meadows and the secondary and tertiary weapons. One could say that outside Darkest the Night, it almost looks like there's small updates coming in the fourth quarter, like a lot of small incremental updates, this small thing, this small thing, small thing. And there's a lot of big things happening in the back end. Is that an intentional decision to do that? And if so, why?
Yes, it is. So when we were going into early access, a lot of these system we introduced, a lot of things you're currently playing with are in the first, maybe sometimes in the second iteration. So we were not looking much into, are they actually fun? How much fun they deliver? And that's something we have to resolve before we move on and deliver more and more content, bigger and bigger updates. So, because the longer we wait with this, the bigger the task becomes and the more content is delayed. That's why we are now focusing on that one. It was always the plan to focus on that one. We just hope that we are a little bit faster. Turns out we are not, and so we are put more focus on that one and want to deliver more fun with these before we then go and introduce more and more of the even bigger content updates. But as you have seen, Darkest Night is already introducing new content. Bandits will come this year as well. Expeditions is then early next year. So we introduce bigger content updates through this course as well. They might not appear on this roadmap as this big, but he will impact the game. They will add another playtime. Might not be another 200 hours, but maybe another 10 to 15 hours of new content. And that's already something, and that's something we constantly will do. And so while we're enhancing existing systems, we will add new ones.
That makes a lot of sense. I think when you think about updating the current system, it's the kind of thing that'll make sense for the entire game later on. So if we're fixing the building system, for example, and we're adding new shapes, we're fixing the way things snap and their appearance, if we're updating the run and walk animations, when Liquid Meadows drops, those are all things that'll be implemented already into Liquid Meadows.
Yes, and that's why it is so important. Otherwise, we would introduce Liquid Meadows, and then we would have to fix it for Ambrose and Liquid Meadows.
No, it makes sense for sure. You just have more space, more area, but not the content to go with it. You would have a Liquid Meadows map that looks beautiful and no bandits, just the map.
Yes, and it's this problem, and also things like doesn't feel really right, and also things might still feel clunky here and there. Doesn't feel really well produced, and so we want to fix this. Yeah.
That's a good point.
And
look at that.
Yes. So to answer this question as well by Safix, we expect from around, so this time on, it's more like 12, maybe 18 months, something around these lines where we see the early access, maybe longer. But we will find out, and that's something we will discuss and share then throughout the next couple of months. But right now, we expect something 12 to 18 months. We looked into if we should already get out of early access before we have all the nations, and said like most likely yes, and have the nations really coming as updates to the game, expanding it, and not wait completely until we have all the nations. Otherwise, we would look into most likely another 3 years or something to have all the nations. But we said it might be something to do earlier already. But that's something we discuss internally right now, and that's something we will most likely update you on in early 2024, because there is no real decision yet.
I think that's important to look at for a long-term goal too. Like if I was just simply a player of the game and not my current position, I think about 12 to 18 months. The roadmap right here only goes up to quarter 3. That's not even the full 12 months yet. entirely. That's a 9-month period. And so if I just stopped playing the game right now and came back in 9 months, my expectation would be I would have Ambrose, Liquid Meadows, a new building system, 4 different expeditions, 3 more weapons, bandits, mini bosses, more bosses, Darkest of Night, interior farming, like all that kind of stuff, mounts, cross-world travel, all of that before the game was even scheduled to be like in its final stages. So in a long-term sense, when we're looking ahead of where the game can be, that's a lot that can be accomplished, especially when you look what the game has accomplished right now since it's released July 18th.
Yes. And to also address the question of Greece right now is, so what is the advantage? It's multiple advantages. Right now, many players wait for the full release. And having all nations is nothing everybody's waiting for. It's more like that we have all the systems ready, all the things make fun, that you have a goal. And then adding these nations are nice updates to the game. Like on other games where new nations get introduced. I mean, we don't have to introduce pandas or something like that, but we still have content to update, content to work on. So for us, it's more like it's a good signal to everyone who's waiting, like, okay, the game is there. You have already 2 nations you can play with. That's a lot of content. And while you're doing so, we already are bringing the next nation and so on.
I would agree with that. I think even when I was watching my fellow content creators play the game, when they went to character creation, it was like, oh, can I select one nation right now? Okay, that's fine. And they didn't care. It was already dismissed. I'm into the game. But I think even though we had a lot of great commentary, I think the people who felt maybe it came short came from the idea of what else can I do? And I think that's what this does, is it answers a lot of what else can I do? Now the ones who are like, I want to play this, but I want more, the more is Darkest of Night. The more is the bandit camp. The more are the expeditions. That's the more stuff. But I doubt any of the ones who felt underwhelmed would come back and be like, oh, thank goodness there's 5 nations now, and still a lot of the same stuff that I couldn't do yet. I just have 5 more coats of paint attached to it.
So it's new nations doesn't introduce new mechanics. They will not introduce suddenly a new building system that is fully different and so on. So that's not what it's a new nation. It's a new playable race. It's a new territory to explore, new recipes, but it's existing mechanics. It's existing systems. All of this in a new way. Something new to explore. It's adding something, but everything else need to be there already. Everything else need to be fun, and that's why we're saying, okay, maybe taking it out of early access earlier, already maybe after the second nation, is something worthwhile, because the majority is there, and the new nation might add something new, like with mounts, for example, now in Liquid Meadows, where we introduce one new thing, but the majority is already there. 90% is already there. 90% is already making fun. Then we add one new thing.
I think I would look forward to more nations if I knew already what I was getting with the existing nations. So, for example, if we're getting Nosmerians, I would be like, oh man, I can't wait to see the Nosmerians, because I want to see what their bandits look like. I want to see what their Darkest of Night looks like. I want to see what their animations look like. How do I swim over there? Like, the animations and things put in place make the game fun right now. I would look forward to those new areas and seeing how it looks over there in that content update.
Yes. And also the next question of Greech, yes, you will have a character selection then with Liquid Meadows, where you will be able to select from multiple characters.
Nice. Perfect. Yeah. That was good. It's a good update. Yeah. How appreciative they are too.
So I hope I could answer some questions, and I hope everyone is excited about this, looking forward to it. We will later share the link to the new roadmap, so you can explore it on your own. So Greesh can start tracking everything again. Also get the Liquid Meadows graphic.
That was
So
actually part of the reason I wasn't zooming in on a lot of stuff. It's because the surprise is, I just wanted you all to know, is that later on you get to look at it. So I didn't want to spoil it for you ahead of time and start clicking in and zooming in on all this stuff when you're gonna have time to do it on your own PC, and look at it for as long as you want.
Adrian, if I press enter now, it might even put the link to it already into the chat.
Really? You won't press enter.
Should I do this?
You won't do it.
I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't press enter now.
I don't know. Sarkidi says do it. Do y'all want it to happen? Do y'all want to press enter? It just takes one button.
Should we do a vote about this?
Let's do a vote. It's a good idea. Let's run a poll. I'm gonna run a poll. Let's see. Poll. New poll. Should Woorari press enter? Yes? No? You all have 1 minute to vote.
So let's see.
You decide. Now, just to recap, if you press enter, that does what again?
Give you access to the roadmap.
This roadmap we've been looking at right here.
Yes, exactly this.
So when Adrian was sitting here browsing all this and clicked this, and I was like, I can't see this right here, but I've had access to it. I could click that myself and look at it. I could do that?
Exactly.
Whew. That's a big ask. Got like 15 seconds left to decide. Do you want him? And if the vote goes yes, you'll press it, right? This isn't a joke. You won't run away.
Yeah. Shakiti, that's possible.
Okay.
But he would pester you to give all the updates. Think about it.
Well, the poll is over, and overwhelmingly, yes, you should press enter.
So I did.
And there you go. Now all of you can go ahead and access the roadmap. And the best part is, you know the drill. We haven't posted this in Discord yet. It's one of the advantages of coming to the live stream. You get to talk about this right now and look at it on your own time until we decide to post in the Discord. Oh, hey, by the way, there's an update to this. Or people who watch the VoD later on. You get first access. Always rewarding people who get early access. The same way you get rewarded with early access right here with the Moss Deer plush hat and the Jib hat. It pays to be early. Never posted in Discord.
I mean, Adrian is gone now for a couple of days, so it might take a while until he will be able to post it.
That's true. I will be at TwitchCon, and logging into my phone and copying a link and pasting it is entirely too much work. So that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm too lazy as well for that. So,
There you go. And none of you are going to share it, right? That's just between us right here in the stream.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, perfect.
Perfect. So, I guess that wraps it up at least for the roadmap, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that covers the roadmap. That covers, I think, just about everything we were going to go over today. I think that's all we need from you, unless anyone else has anything else. I'm good. I can take it from here if need be. I won't break anything.
I hope so. You never have done so in the past.
Thanks, man. Everyone, give it up for Rene Woorari, Managing Director, right here at Blank Hans, in reference to Coreborn and future projects. Thank you so much for all your insight and explaining the new roadmap and giving us access to it and answering all the questions people had. Yeah.
Thanks for having me, as always. And it's always nice to be here. So maybe we see us again this year, hopefully.
And you're going to be in chat for like the last 5 minutes or so?
Maybe. Let's see.
Okay. Because we got to say our goodbyes, and I'm just going to, say goodbye to everyone and all that stuff,
Yeah. If you only say goodbye, maybe I'm not sticking around and leave basically the audience to you.
Okay.
So you can have a bonding moment with them, something like that.
Yeah. We're just gonna bond. That's all.
Yeah.
Just talk about some stuff.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. Yeah.
Good. Then thanks everyone. It was nice being here.
Bye. Thank you, Renee. Everyone say goodbye. Is he gone? Is he gone? All right. I know I said we were going to just say our goodbyes and end, but how about y'all? But I feel like acting up today. I feel like risking it all. Because the thing is, I'm going to TwitchCon. I'm going to be gone for like 4.5, 5 days. I'm just going to turn my Slack off and my work phone off and my work email off. So if anything happens, I won't hear about it. I won't have my noise, but I need all of you to keep this in the low, just between you and I, okay? You know the rule, no snitching, okay? Leaked, let's go? I don't know what you're talking about, leaked, let's go. I'm just looking to hang out with my friends. That's all of you. Okay, this is business as usual. We saw that earlier. That's nothing to look at. Okay, that's fine. I'll go ahead and move that to the bottom. Put that behind me. Neat. I like how Horses said leaked, let's go. There's no leaked, let's go. I'm just looking to hang out with my friends. That's all of you. I do have an extra tab open. Just going to go over to it really quickly. Everyone, look at this. Look at this, 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 look at this. I know beforehand we said the night was going to be dark. And dark is the night. Now listen. At the start of the roadmap, Renee did say, darkest night is coming. We're not going to touch on that. We already had some information beforehand, blah, blah. So let's just go ahead and move on. We're not going to move on. We're going to show this off for a bit. Look at this. Do you see this screenshot? Lo and behold, and look who it is right there. He'll never know. It's his name right there in game. But look at all this cool stuff we have. Look how dark the night is right there. Look how illuminated it is, and it still looks dangerous. I can barely see out there. Why do we kill Nib? First and foremost, that is not Nib the Jib. There's no taxidermy. Second off, it is Gibling, so you're right about that. Third off, maybe it's not dead. Maybe it's alive. Maybe it's a Gibling who's just stuck in the wall with a candle on their head, and that's why they're not singing, because it's super hot. Well, for some people, hot wax isn't, well, never mind. That's a topic for another day with your adults present. But look at all these different light types right here. Look at that. Lantern, 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 torch, holder, holder, candle, holder, lantern, candelabrum, standing. All this room right here. I guess the textures on them are not done. No, Greece, they're not. That's why I'm sharing them with you. It's behind the scenes look right now. That's why shh. So don't go asking questions in the Discord like, hey, are those not done yet? You know why they're not done? Because it's a secret. I'm giving you a behind this. Yes, exactly. WIP soon. I'm so happy you all remember that from last stream. WIP soon. Okay? But the most important thing is, you all never saw this. Okay? This never happened. Especially because we have his name right here. If he found out that I leaked it with his name right there, you know what happened? I don't know, and I don't want to find out. So shut up. That's the only look you get right there. Not bad, right? It's a good update. As per usual, everything will be uploaded to YouTube to watch in high quality. It's been recording. The Twitch VoD will be available as well, so you can watch back everything, speculate, zoom in, overemphasize everything if you want to, Greece. Maybe, I think Renee's going to bed, like 2 hours or so, 3 hours, 6 hours from now, he'll be in bed. So maybe 6 hours from now, I'll take that same picture and put it on social media when he has no idea it's up. That would be hilarious. So I'll do that. We'll have the link in Discord eventually for everyone else who wants to look at the details of the roadmap, and we'll be Gucci. And we'll see you all maybe next week, the week after that, and after that. More updates, maybe not only in Coreborn, maybe all Blink Hands properties. Until then, be nice, and we'll see you.